We all hate it when somebody's cheating reps, but what about cheating no reps? No doubt the standard of judging has been under more and more scrutiny from the CrossFit community. Whether it's a video submission or in person at a competition, if a judge makes a bad call, they're going to hear about it. And looking at the big picture, it's because we want as fair a competition as possible, and we want to know that all the athletes on the field are being held to the same standard. And to help with this, CrossFit has provided the online judges course. Now, this course is a requirement if people want to validate submissions for the Open, if they want to judge at semi-finals, and also many off-season competitions have asked their judges to have this certificate. But there is a problem, and this will be an interesting test to see whether or not people actually watch the video or they just judge it based on the title, which is ironic considering it's a video about judging. Because when I say the course is worthless, that's not entirely true. There are actually a number of reasons why it would be beneficial for some people to do the judges course, and we'll go through those first. But then there's another group of people, a group of people that are actively undermining the value of this course and making it a requirement for competitions pretty pointless. And of course, that's the group of people I really want to talk about. But just to show that I'm not hating on the judges course, why don't we look at some of the good reasons to do it first, and how it can be beneficial for people even if they don't plan to judge at competitions. For example, let's talk about the Open. Now, while you might not be planning to judge at a competition, being able to judge other members of your local affiliate is very helpful. And yes, you might not be judging someone with games aspirations. Maybe they're doing every workout scaled, but you still want to be the best judge you can. And very much the do unto others comes into play here. No doubt when you're doing your Open workout, you want a judge who is good, fair, and accurate, especially if you are competitive and you're going to need to submit your video submission. So if that's the kind of judge you want for yourself, well, that's the kind of judge you need to be for others. And then speaking of yourself, when you do the judges course and you're aware of what a judge is looking for and the standards, well, it helps you when you are then doing the workout yourself. You can avoid those costly no reps. And I actually spoke to a number of members at my local box, and that's why they had chosen to do the judges course. It was more about making sure they knew how to move themselves and less so about judging other people. And then if you are someone that likes to judge at competitions and you want to go to CrossFit licensed events, maybe the semi-finals or even the games themselves one day, it's understandable that you would want to be the best judge you possibly can. So you'd want to do the course. You'd want to be familiar with CrossFit standards if there's been changes and adjustments, which we know happens. We've seen changes in burpee standards, in handstand push-ups and things like that. And of course, well before any event or competition, you would read the sports guide, you would familiarize yourself with the standards for that particular workout. Having already done the judges course just makes that step a little bit easier, as you already have that mindset and you're familiar with what they're going to be talking about. And just in general, if we do something, we usually want to do it well. Especially if you're judging an athlete and you know behind you is going to be their friends and family, and boy, will they let you know if you get it wrong. And then if you start letting them get away with no reps, well, don't worry, the friends and family of their competitors will definitely let you know. So then at this point, it actually sounds like it's not worthless. There's a lot of value from the judges course. And of course, CrossFit want as many people as possible to do it because it's also more money in their pockets. So how then could I dare to say that the judges course could be worthless? Well, as much as we like modern technology, it helps us keep in touch with friends and family wherever they may be in the world, it also really helps people to cheat systems. And then speaking with some judges, I was surprised, although I probably shouldn't have been surprised, to find out what was going on in some WhatsApp groups or Facebook groups or whatever means of communication they had chosen to use. As some people, well, they were struggling a little bit with the course. Now, of course, I'm a big fan of helping people out, helping people to improve. If you don't ask questions, you'll never learn. So if somebody doesn't quite get it, they don't understand something, it's much better that they ask for help. That's how we learn. Or at least it would be if people gave them help and didn't just give them the answers. And unfortunately, that's what's been happening. Either people have been getting together in person to complete the course together and just sharing the answers, or they've just been making a screenshot and sending it through with the correct answers. Now, ultimately, these people are cheating themselves. They're the ones that are not getting the benefit from doing the judges course. And if that was it, they were just harming themselves, they were the only victims in all of this, well, we could just turn a blind eye. But the problem is this: once you know this is happening, it starts to pull down the whole system. Because if a competition is choosing to use the judge's certificate as a metric for those that are able to judge at their competition, how do we know the judge that has that certificate also has the accompanying knowledge? So now this certificate starts to become worthless. And potentially it's even worse than having no judging certificate, because a person could be incredibly familiar with the sport of CrossFit, having been involved for many years, and they've just never decided to do the judging course. But if they did it with the knowledge they have of movement standards and following CrossFit, they perhaps could have passed it easily, compared to somebody that tried and couldn't do it on their own and needed to get the answers from somebody else. And if you needed help or basically cheated to pass this test, you probably shouldn't be on the competition floor. If you couldn't make the right decision when you're sat at home in a quiet, peaceful conditions with all the time you need to make a call, how are you going to do it on the competition floor in a split second when it could potentially be a high-pressure decision? And I understand that this will be the minority of judges. But the problem is this. If I had a whole basket full of apples and I told you that just one or two of them were poisoned, how confident would you be in grabbing an apple from that basket? Yes, the odds are still in your favor, but there's always going to be that little bit of doubt. Likewise, even if it's only a couple of judges doing this, the fact that they're going to be in that judging pool, it's not going to fill us with confidence. I mean, is that the judge you want for your lane? And we can even take this a step further because, if it's Margaret and she's just done the judges course because she wants to help out at her local affiliate during the Open and she's struggling, she can't pass the test, well, she's unlikely to go to the lengths of trying to cheat to get that certificate. It's more likely that somebody that wants to go to these big competitions, maybe with a group of friends, they're all going to judge together, but they just can't pass the test, and that's going to be the thing that holds them back from all their travel plans. Well, they're more likely to cheat the test, aren't they? Which means that it's more likely that the people that are judging at high-level competitions are going to be those cheating compared to people at your local affiliate. And again, there is a big difference between cheating the test and being helped to learn how to pass the test. And I know that some judges really feel like the education of judges should be taken a step further by CrossFit. I've heard things like, couldn't we have something between an L1 and the online course, something specific for judges so that they could be better prepared for competition? And so things like this couldn't happen. And as the sport of CrossFit continues to grow, maybe the education of judges is something they do need to have a closer look at. It's just a shame that a few rotten apples could spoil the whole bunch.